Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Agent Evolution Show. What I'd like to talk with you about today is raising your standards. I read once, someone said that what you tolerate, you cannot change. And so take a look at your life and the results that you're getting in various areas of your life that we're going to discuss, and look at what have you been tolerating that's leading to not creating the results you really want. You see, when you raise your standards of what you're willing to accept, you can change your world. Because when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And one way to do that is by raising your standards. It forces you to take a look at what you've been willing to tolerate that you're no longer willing to participate in. So let's talk a little bit about that. You might want to play this video back a couple times and answer some of the questions I'm going to ask you. That could be an excellent opportunity for some amazing growth and shifts in your life. So what's the standard you hold of yourself? How does that look? Do you have a morning ritual that you hold sacred, that no one's allowed to disrupt, including yourself, right? See, I believe, based on my own results that I've created for myself, that you can too. Your morning ritual is vital to success. What do you participate in on a daily basis in such a way that it creates a peak optimal state for your mind and your body? How do you get peak performance out of yourself? You do it by holding a standard. You have a routine of activities that create that flow state. And you've got the self-discipline to see it through every single day. So let's talk about the standards you hold for your relationships. The relationships with your honey, with your friends, with your kids. What does that look like? Do you date your honey? Do you make it mandatory to go out on a weekly or bi-weekly or monthly date nights? Do you give spontaneous gifts just out of the blue, just because, to let your significant other know that you care and you've been thinking about them? How about little notes at random, right? All these little things. It's a standard you hold for yourself. It's a standard you hold for the relationship. But it takes you willing to show up and make that happen. So how about with your kids? Do you take your kids out on a date just one-on-one time? It's important. What's your standard? What does that look like? How about in your business? What does your schedule look like every single day to ensure that you're on point with lead generating activities, income producing activities that are critical for your business? Do you find yourself on point? Is that your standard? Or do you find yourself wondering kind of what to do throughout the day? Or maybe you're getting lost in paperwork so that you feel busy, yet really what you're doing is you're avoiding those scary activities that'll generate revenue. Maybe you don't have the confidence to go out and do. Or you just don't know what it's supposed to look like, so you deflect and you go focus your time and energy over here in activities that you really know are not going to produce the desired results that you seek. So, what are your standards for these areas? How about for your body? I think that's a big one. That's near and dear to my heart. So what's the food you're putting in? What is your standard for eating? What is your standard for exercise? Right? I don't believe in working outside of your body. I don't call it working out. I call it exercise. Exercise to celebrate your body. Your body wants to move. That's what it's designed to do. What kind of food are you putting in your mouth? Is it fast food? Are you just being reactive throughout your day? Like, listen, Justin, you don't understand. I don't have time to sit down and go meal prep or plan out my diet. My day's so busy I have to react, eat to whatever's in front of me. Is that your standard? Something to take a look at. You see, we control our conditions, our circumstances, and our environment. You become a product of those things. And what those conditions, circumstances, and environment are going to look at is going to be based on your standards. So, your conditions, circumstances, and environment are nothing else other than a reflection of your state of mind. Those situations are simply a mirror for what you've set up. So it's important to take a look at what have I been willing to tolerate and what are my new standards for these areas of my life. Because you see, everything outside of you is nothing more than a mirror for your state of consciousness. You literally are creating moment by moment. And my question to you is, what are you creating? Are you creating the results you really truly desire? Or are you creating results that you're willing to tolerate and accept because it's still safe? It may not be what you want, but it's safe, it's comfortable, and it's enough to get by. And listen, if that's what you're going for, good on you. But if it's not, and you feel it's not, you know it's not, it's time to take a look at, what are my standards? What am I willing to tolerate and accept for myself? You're the only one that can change it. And remember, who you surround yourself with matters. It matters significantly. The closest 5 people in your circle, you will become an average of those 5 people. So that's also a standard you want to take a look at. Who's in my closest sphere, and who do I want it to be? See, I like to surround myself with people that are always going for bigger and better. Some of them have bigger, better results than I do, and that's perfect, right? It inspires me to go out and create bigger, better results. So, what's the standards you hold for yourself? What are you no longer willing to tolerate? And who's in your closest circle? Thanks so much for watching. I hope you got tremendous value out of this week's webisode. So, make it a great day.